Hi, welcome to the Coffee Chat Show here on Buzzing Pattaya. The show we talk about things that are happening right here, right now, as well as general news, tips, information, and advice. Today, my brother's on the show. How we doing, Phil?
It's my twin. My twin.
How many times do you get called me and I get called you?
Do you know what? It happens all the time.
I know.
Trev, how's the bar? And I'm going, yeah, the bar's good. Bar's good. Oh, sorry, mate, I've got to go. Oh, are you buzzing off, Trev? Yeah. And I'm thinking, how many times does
mate,
get that?
I get it the same. People come in and go, hey, how you doing, Phil? And I'm like, I'm good. I'll let Phil know. So, oh, you're Trevor, aren't you? I'm like,
Phil, you know when you did that video down Tree Town? I'm going, I've never done a video down Tree Town.
I know,
Trevor. You know.
Well, the thing is, we last sat down on camera 4 years ago, would you believe? 4 years ago.
And I've remembered something about that.
Go on.
After we'd finished and you were packing all your stuff away, you said to me, do you know what, Phil? I'm thinking of starting this live streaming. I'm thinking of starting this live streaming, but I don't think I can get my technical head around it and all that. And so I think I might have given you some advice or whatever. And then here we are 4 years later. You're knocking on Mr. Beast's door as far as numbers are concerned. And I'm just sitting here like, you know, you've just flown over. So well done.
Well, I mean, it's very kind of you to say it, but I'm nowhere near that level. But all I do is I've just, don't forget, I had a long period of time where I didn't have anything else to do other than make videos. Whereas you had your bar up in the pub and all the other stuff that was going on. So, but again, I've been really, really looking forward to today because you may or may not know, but Phil had Le Pub, which was up in Soi Diamond off Walking Street. Had that for how many years?
8.5 years.
8.5 years.
8.5 years, yeah.
And you had next door. What was next door called?
Milk,
that's right. So from Le Pub.
It was called Milk because the ladies were, well, it was white, first of all. The interior was white.
Get the colour in, yeah.
And I couldn't be bothered to change it, right? And also the ladies were milk. Yes.
Fair enough.
Yes.
As long as it was milk and not MILF.
If you know, you know. Well, actually, MILF would actually attract a fair few people.
It probably would, yeah. My mate Coops would be straight in there. He loves it. So the thing is, I'm really pleased about doing this interview is I'm going to be totally honest with you, and I've said it on a few videos. Before you opened here, where we are now, which is Rum Runner, and we're on Soi Buakhao, before you opened this, I always respected you for Le Pub. You'd had a great setup. Milk obviously didn't work out too good, but nevertheless, Le Pub was just like your flagship. And then I heard these rumours, oh yeah, Phil's going to come down here and buy this place down on Buakhao. And I'm like, no, surely not. And I thought, in all honesty, I thought you were buying a lead balloon. I really did.
Well, first of all, let me just correct you. Milk worked out very well for me, but not necessarily the people that bought it afterwards, right?
Yeah.
But, do you know, Trev, you've said that to me so many times, oh, you took a huge gamble. I never saw it. I genuinely never saw it like that. The only time I saw it like that was when I'd sold Le Pub.
Yeah.
And I got that money in my back pocket sort of thing. And it's burning a bit of a hole.
Yeah.
And I saw this advertised on Facebook and I came here and I instantly loved this place. I don't know why. I just thought it's manageable. It's on a bus route. There's parking outside. Just little things like that. And then I did the deal and I was waiting. It was a Sunday and I was waiting to change the locks because you've got to change the locks when you come in. You don't know who's got a key. And I'm just rummaging around the cashier drawer and around the cashier desk. And it's amazing what you find, and you go in the girls' changing rooms and there's all these like old stripper shoes from like 5 years ago with empty bottles of vodka and stuff like that. But I was just rummaging around the cashier drawer and I found this book. And in this book, it was like something out of Charles Dickens. Like somebody, the cashier obviously, had written down the takings for the old bar.
Yeah, the Black Snake.
Like the Black Snake. And I'm not having a go at the people from Black Snake, by the way, because it was pre-COVID and then a little bit during COVID.
Yeah.
Right. But it was like about 9 months of takings from Black Snake. And I'm going like, oh, shit, yeah. Oh, dear, we've got a bit of a problem here. But, everything's been good. It
was weird, though, because you've gone from, like, the pinnacle of Pattaya and Walking Street to now this, like, back street that, unless you're going to go to the market, you probably wouldn't even know this place existed down this end. The amount of people that don't travel down here. But you've done so well.
Thank you. But it's just that it's Soi Buakhao.
Yeah.
And I spent a year, maybe 2 years sitting in the pub. And I've got a community like you've got.
Yes, you have.
Community like you've got your Discord, you've got your YouTube, now Kick, obviously. And you get people coming in. The people that used to come in maybe 3 times every trip or 4 times every trip. And they just come in, oh, yeah, Phil, lovely to see you, great bar. oh yeah, we're going home tomorrow. Yeah,
Mm.
I don't really come down Walking Street anymore. And I was listening to that
Yeah.
every day, day in, day out. We don't really come down Walking Street anymore. And I haven't got a problem with Walking Street per se. I mean, we can talk about that if you want. I'm sure you probably will. But my customers clearly did. Like, and even though actually money-wise, up till about November last year, we were absolutely flying. I mean, we had an okay high season, but not brilliant. But because customer numbers were going down and literally like dropping like 20% a year. And because these people, my community was saying, yeah, we don't really come down Walking Street anymore. Okay, so but obviously you asked the question, where'd you hang out? Oh, Soi Buakhao.
Yeah.
Right, and so he was just like, Soi Buakhao, Soi Buakhao. Yeah, I do like Soi 7. I'm going to have to admit, Soi 7, Soi 8. Still think there's life left in that area. Yeah. But he was just Soi Buakhao, Soi Buakhao. So that was a lot of the reason why I came here. And it was just like, it's Bill's New Bar, Soi Buakhao. Oh, okay. Like, I think it just pricked up people's like interest.
I must admit, I mean, you mentioned there that the customers are saying they don't go to Walking Street anymore. I mean, I've been Walking Street for a night out probably in as long as I can remember. Like, it's lost its attraction to me.
Well, look, let's look at the elephant in the room. And the elephant in the room is people don't like the new demographics of Walking Street.
Yeah.
There's too many Indians, there's too many Russians and all that. There's like, I think there's something like 5 Indian discos there.
Seven.
Okay, there's 7 Indian discos.
2 are Indian only.
Okay, right. So, but there are something like 20 go-go bars that are catering for Westerners, people from Southeast Asia, right? Like those are the basic customers. And everybody concentrates on like, oh, there's all these Indians everywhere, right? Personally, right, let me just say, and it's very important for me to say, I'm a child of the 60s, grew up in the 70s and 80s, Birmingham. We're very multicultural, right?
Yeah, definitely.
I, in a moment of madness about 10 years ago, I Googled myself, right?
Okay.
And I found this picture, the only picture of me in my real name, I mean, my name, on Google. And it was a shot of me in class, George Dixon School in Edgbaston, by the way, in like the early 1980s. And like, I never thought about it before, but I was like one of about 4 white kids. And everybody else was like from Bangladesh, India, Pakistan, the Caribbean. Like,
but I think it's like the Indians. Though. Like I've been to India, I stayed in India for 3.5 months. I love Indian culture. I love Indian food. It's probably my favourite food out of everything apart from Thai food.
I love Indian women as well.
Well, I don't go down that road, but and the thing is like, I think what lets this persona go down wrong is the fact that you see groups all the time.
Right.
And, you know, when they come in here, or not in here, but when they come into bars, generally speaking, they don't really buy a lot and support the women. So I kind of get that. But like you said, but the thing that I think Walking Street for me that's really kicked itself in the teeth is the prices now. Lady drink prices are just through the roof.
And who sets, I would say who sets the prices? Is it the greedy bar managers?
The landlord.
It's the landlord.
Yeah.
And it has to be said, the girls who, you know, you can't get a really, like, you're looking at, let's take Sapphire, for example.
Yeah.
Right? Look at the photos on Sapphire, right? Adam does a brilliant job doing that, right? Those sort of girls ain't going to get out of bed for less than 1,500 baht a day.
Yeah.
Not just to go on,
Yeah,
just to turn up with their little Gucci handbags. Like, I love you girls if you want it. Right.
Yeah.
You're looking at 1,500, $2,000 a day. And if you don't pay that,
they won't come.
I was talking to Ken, who, remember, Viking, who had tiny.
Oh, yeah.
And he was saying, he says, the reason my bar didn't do very well was because I just wouldn't pay the prices. I would not pay those salaries. Right. So it is a combination of the landlords and the fact that the girls now are just charging outrageous prices. And I'm sure there are people screaming at the television and screaming at their mobile phones tonight saying, well, you should all get together. And is that ever going to happen, Trevor?
Well, even if we all got together, it'd be irrelevant because all the landlords just still stand their ground.
Yeah.
You know, the prices now, I mean, it's funny, like when you look at the cost of rent nowadays to what it was like 8 years ago.
Yeah.
I mean, it's almost doubled some places.
Yeah. I mean, a mate of mine was looking at a 1 unit. Okay, it's a big 1 unit, right in the middle of the top area of Walking Street, and it was like $250,000.
Yeah.
And by the way, and it goes up 50,000 next year.
Yeah.
You know, just to help you out.
Where do you see Walking Street in 10 years? There's a lot of talk about how Pattaya's changed its demographic. You know, you've been in Walking Street for 8 years. How do you see it moving forwards? Because
it's a great question.
I mean, if you look at what they've done, they've taken, I mean, all the signage has gone, which was part of the attraction, in my opinion. They've done all that new tiling on the floor, made it all look nice and fancy, but they just don't clean it often enough because now it looks horrible. You know, they've taken down quite a few of the big prominent Go-Go's and moved to other places. Where do you see it?
Right, I think he's a victim of his own success in that respect, because the reason that they took down all the signage and the reason that they put that, I didn't even like the artist's impressions of all that floor, was because every area of Thailand got a budget from the central government, like federal government, and they says, right, there's, I don't know, 100 million baht, do something in your area, right? So they gave 100 million to Bangkok and they did Khao San Road, which, by the way, has changed completely, right? Yeah. They gave 100, just say 100 million, they gave it to Phuket, they gave it to Koh Samui, they gave it to Chiang Mai, right? Pattaya, City Hall, there you go. There's a big lump of money. Do something. They chose Walking Street. And I think that's quite significant. Like, whenever, like, a prominent person from the government comes to Pattaya, they go to Walking Street. Yeah. Like, whenever there's a movie star, like, what was his name? And I'm not calling him a movie star. I Show Speed.
Right, yeah.
Like, where did he go? He love it. But he can go sort of a character. He went to Walking Street. Right. So if you Google Pattaya, right, Pattaya, most of the time, Walking Street will come up within the top 5. Right?
Oh, definitely. But like,
so it's, I'm sorry to
no, you carry on.
So it's a victim of its own success in that way, right? I think it will just become more Vegasized, if you like, and I don't think the prices are going to go down. But I still think you go in 20 years' time in Walking Street, there will be top class nightclubs. There will probably be go-go bars. If I don't know whether the younger generation actually likes. Go bars. That's
anymore. A great point.
You know,
great point.
But I think the younger generation, South Koreans and Japanese probably will. So they'll be that in that respect. I think it will still be there, but it will just change. And don't forget, with the train coming, I keep on going on about the high speed train, which will be here in 10 years' time, maybe. Yeah. That is going to completely change Pattaya in general.
And what about the monorail? They've been talking about that for years. Do you know how?
I remember sitting in Soi 6 about 2005, because I'm that old, right? And I remember all these signs up on Soi 6, no to the monorail. No, and they were talking about it then, 20 years ago. I don't think that'll ever happen. And I'll tell you why, because there's so many big people very high up in Thai society that have got land on places like Beach Road, in places like Second Road, right? Walking Street. I don't think they're ever going to be happy sticking a monorail and it looking like Silom or Sukhumvit Road in Bangkok. Yeah. I don't think it's ever going to change. I honestly don't. Yeah. And actually, the system now works.
It does work now, but I mean, I was told, and probably you know better than I do, but I was told the reason that they took all the signs down in Walking Street was for the fire hazard, for the fire engines.
Sorry, part of the design of that money that came from central government was, let's make it a little bit like Vegas or whatever. And so that's why they took them down, I think. And if you remember, there was a fire during
the fire
COVID of Nasha Club.
Yeah, Nasha.
And there was, I actually sneaked out of, we were all locked down then, weren't we? And I sneaked out because I woke up and there was like 100 messages on my phone. I even got one from a very prominent journalist, shall we say. I've heard that the whole of Walking Street's on fire. Yeah. And I thought, I better go check that out. Right, and so I sort of sneaked out. And I was hiding behind dustbins.
But it was weird because they contradict themselves with the signage in Walking Street because they left all the signs in Soi 6. And you can't get a fire truck down.
Correct. And that is very, very weird. But like I say, the reason they did it was because they just zoned that as where all this money was going. But let me say this. People say, it's lost its charm, it's lost its whatever. And I hear you, Trevor. And many people do say that, right? But you look at Vegas, Tokyo, Seoul, right? You look at all the nightlife areas around the world. I don't know, Broadway, right? It's all horizontal signage. It's horizontal. Yeah. Horizontal? No, vertical.
Vertical. Yeah.
It's all vertical signage.
Yeah.
Right. It's all vertical signage, and so it does look a little bit sort of modern. I don't know.
Well, I must admit, if you look around the city now, you've got like the Melia 5-star hotel is absolutely amazing. Lay Beach Club on the beach road there. I mean, they've done a fantastic job down there. You've got all these new beach-themed cafes opening all along Beach Road now, and they've cleaned it all up. They've done all the trees, replanted the trees, done the pathway. There's a significant impact being made right now into Beach Road and into Walking Street. And I think, like you said, it's only going to continue.
But also, you know, I 5 years ago, I would have said the death of the beer bar because, you know, beer bars were like going down.
Drinking Street disappeared.
Drinking Street, also the two Simon Beer Bar complexes on Walking Street, that beer bar complex on Soi Buakhao. So I forget. Right, and what's happened? Las Vegas. Beer bar complex, what amazing. Frog complex, right? And so everything evolves, and I think, so those places are more expensive than the old places, but I honestly think, like, in the dying embers of Drinking Street, you know, it was awful. It was just like, there was nobody there. It was terrible. The standard of the girls was bad. So I think everything just evolves. But I will always say this, like, in 50 years' time, Trev, you'll be able to come to Pattaya.
I won't be here.
You won't be here. And I won't be here.
I won't be here for 50 years. I'll be planted under one of those trees.
Right. And you will be able to come to Pattaya, maybe by high-speed train, come here, check into a hotel, and let's just say, find a little friend.
Yeah.
You'll be able to do that in 50 or 100 years' time. But it will just be different. It might all be on apps. It might be go to discos and it's freelancers. I don't know. But you will always be able to do that, because I tell you what, everyone in Bangkok slags off Pattaya, don't they? Oh, it's that horrible, sleazy, horrible little town. Right. What happens? As soon as the wife goes off to the temple, right, they're down Egamai on the first coach down there, right? That is, it will always be like that. It will never change as far as I'm concerned.
Do you think Jomtien will change much?
I like Jomtien, and I think it's obviously been majorly affected by the one-way thing that's happened. But I mean, you're starting to see a few things like Burger King and Benson's going in there and everything. I mean, it's a natural. I've never really thought about it, to be honest, Trev. I mean, the people who live in Jomtien absolutely love it, don't they?
Yeah. A lot of the expats live there. They come down from the dark side, or East Pattaya, as we call it, dark side. Yeah. They come down and spend the day down there. And it's a nice, I think it's a much nicer area in terms of beach and relaxation.
I think the Thais like it as well. That's the thing. It's just like, it's easier parking, number one, or it used to be. I'm not sure around with the one-way system. But, like, it wasn't like, oh, where are we going for the weekend? This is the time mom and dad.
Yeah.
Kids. Where are we going? We're going to Pattaya now. We go Jomtien, because it hasn't got that sleazy sort of.
Well, when it's the Thai weekends and they have the holiday, they come flying down in their thousands.
Yeah, and Rayong as well.
Yeah.
From Rayong.
Have you been up to Naklua recently?
Yes, I did a live stream.
Did you?
On Kick.
Oh,
on my new Kick channel.
Check it out, guys. Go support it. Go and support Phil.
And wow, they've got this massive new nightclub there.
Oh, a nightclub?
Yeah, it's called Icon.
Oh, well, Naklua?
Yeah, but I think it's Thai orientated.
Where's that then?
Okay, so as you go up towards
Dolphin Roundabout.
Yeah, Dolphin Roundabout, going up towards the temple.
Yeah.
It's about the 4th or 5th side on the left, and there's this huge signage there. You go there, and it's like something on Walking Street. It's just amazing.
Really?
Yeah. It's called Icon.
Wow, I'll have to go check that out.
Yeah.
Just find that little gem.
Well, just because one of my subs on my Kick channel, real_Mr. Egg.
Have you got a Kick channel by any chance?
Funny you say that, Trev.
I've heard about Kick.
Yeah.
I've heard a bit about it. I don't know much about it, but I've heard about it.
The Green channel. He said, can you go down the Naklua? And I haven't been down for ages. And like, those beautiful hotels have been set up.
Yeah.
A lot of those beer bars have gone.
Yeah.
It used to be like Little Germany, didn't it?
That's it, yeah.
But I liked it, because it was all it was like everything was very correct, and there was all lovely little pot plants outside the bars, because it's German, and the Germans, not knocking Germany, they're just so
exact.
correct.
They're so exact.
Vorsprung Deutsch Technik.
I lived in Germany for 2.5 years.
Yeah.
And I've never ever found another country, apart from Singapore, that was as clean as Germany, as organised as Germany, and as just rigid.
Brilliant.
There was just no manoeuvre. It was just rigid. That's what you're going to do. That's how you're going to do.
You know what?
End of.
We went on a school trip to Cologne. Only time we've been to Germany.
Yeah.
And we landed about 7 o'clock in the morning. And it's a tiny little kind of regional air. I know it's an international airport now, but it's kind of a regional airport at the top. And the bus that we had to get was in a car park, and we had to cross over this road, right? And it was 7 o'clock in the morning. We just got off the plane, and there was like a crossing, and there was one of those where you press the button and the pelican crossing, as we call them in the UK. So I pressed the button, right? No traffic that way. I know, like, they drive on the wrong side of the road.
Yeah.
No traffic that way. No traffic that way. So I just walked, right? And all these Germans were going, "What are you doing? You're crazy. You going to die." And I'm saying, "But there's nothing coming." You've got to wait till the green man shows.
Yeah.
And I thought that was my introduction to Germany. But in respect of Naglua, I think it was always nice. There was always there was always nice food there. Right, there's a couple of lovely little Belgian, German restaurants there. It was always a nice little area. So I went up, and to be honest, the beer bars weren't that good.
Yeah.
Prime time on Sunday, but there was this nightclub, and I thought, "Oh, what's that?" I didn't know
I'm going
that.
to go and investigate.
Yeah, it's called Icon. Yeah, you just go down there on the left. Yeah.
Well, I'm going to have to do 2 parts now because I'm really enjoying this, and we haven't talked much about Rum Runner. We haven't talked much about your kick and all the rest of it. So we're going to have to do part 2, aren't we?
Part 2.
Hot song.
Fantastic.
Right, okay, so what I'm going to do now is, because we've been going on quite a bit, and I hope you've enjoyed it as much as I've loved it. You know, Phil's such an amazing guy, really. He's a lovely friend. He's a good guy. He knows his city far better than I do. So, you know, come down, watch part 2. We'll actually talk about Rum Runner and other bits that we should have been talking about, and watch part 2. So, Phil, thank you for part 1.
Thank you very much.
Been a pleasure.
Thank you.
Guys, check out, I'll put Phil's link down into the description below for his kick. Go on the kick, guys. The reason I'm on kick is simply this: it's unfiltered, uncensored. There's a lot less rigidity in kick. We can do so much more. So come and check out his channel, give him a follow, support him, guys, and I'll see you over there. Right, that's it for me. That's it for Phil. Thank you very much for watching, guys. As always, please remember, hit the subscribe button and also the bell icon if you'd like to be notified when I bring out a new video. As I mentioned earlier, join us on Kick. Just go on to kick.com/Buzzing Pattaya. Check us out, guys. We've got over 3,000 members on there. It's fantastic. We do lots of streams on a Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So come and have a look at that, guys. It's lots of fun. If you haven't and you want to find out about Nightlife, jump into Instagram. There's over 23,000 members on that one. TikTok is over 25,000 members. And Discord, we've got 23,000 members on there.
It's just showing.
No, I'm just telling you how much we've got.
I'm so small.
Well, it doesn't matter. Well, the girls did mention, but we'll talk about part 2. And yeah, if you'd like to support the channel, guys, please become a member here on YouTube. If you do become a member, send me through a confirmation membership and I'll give you access to our members on the Discord area. Right, we're going to continue in part 2. Part 2 will be out in a few days' time. Watch your space, guys. Until then, wherever in the world, stay safe.